Exploring the reality of time travel, science fact versus science fiction. Will it ever be possible for time travel to occur? Have you ever dreamed of traveling through time, like characters do in science fiction movies? For centuries, the concept of time travel has captivated people's imaginations. Time travel is the concept of moving between different points in time, just like you move between different places. In movies, you might have seen characters using special machines, magical devices, or even hopping into a futuristic car to travel backward or forward in time. But is this just a fun idea for movies, or could it really happen? The science behind time travel. The question of whether time is reversible remains one of the biggest unresolved questions in science. If the universe follows the laws of thermodynamics, it may not be possible. The second law of thermodynamics states that things in the universe can either remain the same or become more disordered over time. It's a bit like saying you can't unscramble eggs once they've been cooked. According to this law, the universe can never go back exactly to how it was before. Time can only go forward, like a one-way street. Time is relative. However, physicist Albert Einstein's theory of special relativity suggests that time passes at different rates for different people. Someone speeding along on a spaceship moving close to the speed of light 671 million miles per hour will experience time slower than a person on Earth. People have yet to build spaceships that can move at speeds anywhere near as fast as light, but astronauts who visit the International Space Station orbit around the Earth at speeds close to 17,500 mph. Astronaut Scott Kelly has spent 520 days at the International Space Station, and as a result has aged a little more slowly than his twin brother and fellow astronaut Mark Kelly. Scott used to be 6 minutes younger than his twin brother. Now, because Scott was traveling so much faster than Mark and for so many days, he is 6 minutes and 5 milliseconds younger. Theoretical possibilities and challenges. Some scientists are exploring other ideas that could theoretically allow time travel. One concept involves wormholes, or hypothetical tunnels in space that could create shortcuts for journeys across the universe. If someone could build a wormhole and then figure out a way to move one end at close to the speed of light, like the hypothetical spaceship mentioned above, the moving end would age more slowly than the stationary end. Someone who entered the moving end and exited the wormhole through the stationary end would come out in their past. However, wormholes remain theoretical. Scientists have yet to spot one. It also looks like it would be incredibly challenging to send humans through a wormhole space tunnel. Paradoxes and failed dinner parties. There are also paradoxes associated with time travel. The famous grandfather paradox is a hypothetical problem that could arise if someone traveled back in time and accidentally prevented their grandparents from meeting. This would create a paradox where you were never born, which raises the question, how could you have traveled back in time in the first place? It's a mind-boggling puzzle that adds to the mystery of time travel. Famously, physicist Stephen Hawking tested the possibility of time travel by throwing a dinner party where invitations noting the date, time, and coordinates were not sent out until after it had happened. His hope was that his invitation would be read by someone living in the future, who had capabilities to travel back in time. But no one showed up. As he pointed out, the best evidence we have that time travel is not possible, and never will be, is that we have not been invaded by hordes of tourists from the future. Telescopes are time machines. Interestingly, astrophysicists armed with powerful telescopes possess a unique form of time travel. As they peer into the vast expanse of the cosmos, they gaze into the past universe. Light from all galaxies and stars takes time to travel, and these beams of light carry information from the distant past. When astrophysicists observe a star or a galaxy through a telescope, they are not seeing it as it is in the present, but as it existed when the light began its journey to Earth millions to billions of years ago. NASA's newest space telescope, the James Webb Space Telescope, is peering at galaxies that were formed at the very beginning of the Big Bang, about 13.7 billion years ago. While we aren't likely to have time machines like the ones